Hey guys, we have a transformative week full of planetary transits. There is a ton going on this week. It is definitely going to be a shift to the tone with some of these sign changes and two retrograde situations. Mars is going into Sagittarius, Mercury is going into Capricorn, which is going to be an interesting situation itself. Venus is going retrograde and Chiron is going direct after being in retrograde since the beginning of July. So this is an interesting week. It is absolutely colorful for these reasons. And looking at some of the vibes on the graph, it is so apparent that we have Venus stuff going on and the retrograde occurring because the romantic energy is a steady stream once again on the graph. It is peaked out by the time you get to about the 16th, and then it starts dipping down as we start getting to the retrograde period on the 19th. So it is interesting. This is going to be a week where relationship stuff is going to absolutely be at the forefront. Relationship stuff is going to be at the forefront for a while. It always is, but you know, when you have these retrograde cycles and you have allowed Venus, as we do and as we've had for the last couple of months since she's on the other side of the sun, relationship situations get pronounced good, bad, or indifferent. So there's some easy stuff, but there's definitely going to be some hard stuff. But with this flirty energy, I mean, it will be fun, it will be social, it will be charming, it will be romantic. So at least there's that. There is some emotional sensitivity that's also low grade, but steadily streaming throughout the week. And then it starts peaking up as you start getting to the 19th. So the 19th, this week, there are some triggery things. There are some things that may have you feeling on edge. So this week is going to be weird in that sort of way where, you know, you're feeling some good vibes, but you're also feeling just annoyed or like low grade irritations. And through this week we've got some social stuff, definitely have some gathering energy with family and friends, which, you know, I mean, it's appropriate. We're getting around the time of the holidays, so those things do happen. And there is some mental energy, there is some good luck energy on the 18th going till the 19th. So hopefully you guys are able to capitalize on that and use it to your advantage, even with some of the interesting, weird, and heavy stuff that we have going on throughout this week. So yeah, this should be an interesting week for sure. Let's look at the next bunch of days and see what we can expect. As a reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe and also share because it does help this channel grow. Also, if you'd like to support the hard work of this channel, you can do so by buying me a fresh cup of coffee. There's a link in the description box below. So if you're feeling down that Sagittarius season will soon be done within the next week, you're in luck because Mars is going into Sagittarius. And so we still will have Sagittarius energy to work with. And the good thing with the Sagittarius energy and what I've been saying here with Sag is it's a great energy for shooting your shot. We got a taste of that when Venus was in Sag. The Sun went into Sagittarius, Mercury went into Sagittarius, and now Mars will be in Sagittarius. And one of the great things with Mars going into Sagittarius is, as I was saying, when we've had these ingresses into this sign, Sagittarius is about seeking opportunities and taking opportunities and realizing how lucky you are to have those opportunities. In other words, you're feeling confident, you're feeling like you can get this going. So now it's time to shoot your shot. And it has been time to shoot your shot through these energies. It's always time to shoot your shot. But in Sag, we get this special dose of confidence in the special sense of just luck that things are going to work out the way we want. And so when you combine that into Mars, Mars is our planet of action, motivation. Mars is how we get things. Mars is how we go after we want. You put that in Sag and all that motivational Sag energy, then it is going to be easy to go after whatever it is you need, whatever it is you want. So we have more of an extended period in this sign, but in an action-oriented planet, so that really does help. In the Sun, it is action-oriented as well. Mercury, there is action. Venus, it's a little bit passive. However, this will have you moving, this will have you accelerated, and this will have you going after whatever it is you seek. It is that ambitious, let's seize the day, let's seize every opportunity sort of energy. This is the type of energy where it is fun-loving. It is about just going out and enjoying itself. Like, this is one of those Mars where it's more jovial. It's, again, still action-oriented, but I could say a little bit less temperamental. Not that it can't have those moments, because it absolutely can, and that's more so the shadow side of this. But this is one of those fun-loving, adventure-seeking Mars. So if you're looking to have fun, if you're looking to have an adventure, if you're looking to make travel plans, if you're looking to do something out of the ordinary, something that you normally wouldn't do or go after because you may not have felt comfortable, this is going to be great for giving you FOMO. So you may have this urge where you're like, I've been missing out on this for so long. You know what? I don't want to any longer. I want to go after whatever this is. And whatever this is could be anything. It could be, I want to take this trip. I want to buy myself these things. I want to finally go to that local coffee shop. It could be small things. It doesn't have to be this crazy adventure where you're wind sailing or jet setting to another country in Europe. Although it could be. But it can be simple things that you've been just missing out on, or you just haven't, felt comfortable enough to just do it. But yeah, this Mars will have you an active participant in life. And even your desires are going to be larger than life. So the things that you go after in a big way. You go after in an expansive way, because we are dealing with Sagittarius. And because this is Mars, we are dealing with sexuality. We are dealing with our romantic lives. And so romantically, you could be going after things in a big way. And even though Venus is going retrograde, this doesn't stop these things. So, again, you just want to be aware of that, as I was saying in my other video. And once I get to the Venus retrograde portion, I will definitely go there. But this is one of those things where you become ultra pursuitful within your relationships. So don't at all be surprised if you get those people who are seizing the day and seizing opportunities to meet you, date you, things like that. It has that sort of vibe. Not the most committal of vibes, though. It's definitely spread your wings and be free, free love and free hugs. That's what kind of happens with Sag energy sometimes within these sort of placements like Venus or Mars. They're not necessarily the most committal, but they are a good time. They're here for a good time and not for a long time. So if that's the case, just have fun and let your hair down in any way you can, and not necessarily take some of those situations seriously, because again, it's not a serious energy. And it brings in that life of the party vibe too here. So socially, this is a fun energy in itself. It is much lighter than Mars and Scorpio. Mars and Scorpio is great and it works amazing and it's good at focusing your energy, but we do focus on the more serious things. This does not focus on the serious things. This focuses on the fun things and the enjoyable things and the indulgence of everything, which can be great and can be fun, but can get shadow side-ish when it comes down to it. And speaking of shadow side, yeah, this definitely, for a fun-loving energy, absolutely has a shadow side to it, as any sign change does in any planet. And with this one, you do want to be sure that make sure you're not being grandiose about things. And again, that overdoing it, you want to make sure your opinions aren't causing you to be an asshole to other people, because this can be quite an opinionated Mars that can be pushy about its beliefs and its perspective. So, you can see stuff like that erupting. I mean, sometimes when you get in certain Sag situations, you can see this playing out with people you can see this playing out over the internet where strangers are just going at each other and things like that. More so than normal, they're always going at each other, but opinionated beliefs do come up hardcore in this energy. So on a world stage, you could be seeing that people are getting themselves in trouble because of that. Also, this can be very cutting when it comes down to the way you speak to others. So you can lose your temper with people a little bit easier than normal. It's not that this is a Mars that's intentionally mean, but this Mars can be mean because the words can be cutting. It can be blunt as fuck, and blunt in a way that's super rude and pushy and mean. So yeah, it's not great when it comes down to that. So do the best you can when this energy hits. Other than that, have fun. Use this energy to shoot your shot. I mean, really, truly, this is going to push you and give you that urge you need to go after whatever it is that you desire. So have fun with this Mars and Sag energy. That same day, Mercury is going into Capricorn. So if you enjoy Mercury in Capricorn, you're in luck, because Mercury is going to come back to Capricorn after it leaves Capricorn and be back and forth in this sign for a little bit of time because Mercury will go retrograde on January 14th. Mercury will go shadow on the 29th of December. So we're going to be teetering between Capricorn and Aquarius because next year with the retrogrades, it's interesting because we've got some hybrids. We have Earth and we have air retrogrades going on, with one fully in Earth at the end of 2022, which it'll go right back into Capricorn and go retrograde in Capricorn in December of 2022. So we have some interesting stuff ahead. And this Mercury in Capricorn is going to be with the Venus retrograde as well here. So they're going to be traveling together and they're going to be making contact. So this Mercury is going to play an important role within this Venus retrograde cycle that we have, which of course I will get to at some point in this podcast. So yeah, we leave Mercury in Sagittarius and we change the tone in the way we communicate, think, speak, and hear things, and go to a more Capricorn way of being. And that's a complete shift from Sagittarius because Sagittarius and Capricorn are very different signs. And you know, with this, it helps us narrow things down, which is good. And it helps us get more serious about whatever it is we need to take care of, about what we need to focus on, about the way we communicate and the way we understand things. I would say that it helps us become more effective in the way we communicate. And so our communication tone is going to tune down a bit. It's going to be less loud. It's going to be less extroverted, and it's going to be more contained in the way we handle things. Communication under this gets short and to the point, which is always a good thing. Sometimes you don't want long-winded. Long-winded can be stressful, but that's also coming from me, and I have Mercury in Aries. So, I just feel that this right here would be great for all of us getting to the point and getting to the facts and to the meat and potatoes of a subject. And Mercury in Capricorn is great. If you've ever spoken to someone with Mercury in Capricorn, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But in this energy, we get more organized with our thought processes, more organized in the way we handle things. We take our plans and responsibilities seriously. So things tend to go as planned, although this Mercury will go retrograde, so that's going to foil all of that. But typically with this, things do go as planned. People say that they're going to do something, and you can take them for their word through this energy. Another good thing with this is our critical thinking skills will be sharp and used instead of just sitting there and not being utilized. Our critical thinking skills won't be just sitting there for decoration. So this is going to be great for really getting to the bottom of things, understanding subjects that might be hard to understand if you're not using those skills, and really just helping in making decisions. And of course, this is great for decisive action, quick decisive action. Well, I won't say super quick. It's not quick decisive action like you would get in Mercury and Aries or a Mars and Gemini sort of situation. This is decisive in a way where it thinks about all the possibilities, the consequences, how this will all play out, what the long-term plan is for the whole situation if it doesn't work. It's one of those things where you make your decision and you stick to it because you looked at all the data and all the data proves that this is worth your time, so you go after it. And of course, there's always a lower vibration with these sign changes, so this one in itself can be critical, and it can be critical of others, critical of self, so there can be some negative self-talk that does come with this. Your internal dialogue could get a bit judgy on yourself and others. This can also be one of those things where you're getting an icy delivery from people who are short and to the point. There is a coldness to this. There is an aloofness to this. So that can be pretty uncomfortable, and it is skeptical energy as well too. So, you could be dealing with people who just don't believe certain things. That's fine. Honestly, it's good to be skeptical, just not to a point that you really just turn your nose up at everything and everyone. So you just want to be balanced within this because it can bring out your inner skeptic. So yeah, do the best you can when this energy hits. On the 14th, Mercury is making a semi-sextile with Mars. So this is one of those types of energies where it can be cutting when it comes to communication. This is the type of energy where, you say the wrong thing or you lose your patience with other people very easily. And so you want to make sure that you're not being nasty in the way you respond to people. Also with this, honesty sometimes goes wrong in this energy. Honesty goes wrong in the sense where, you think you're doing the right thing by telling someone the truth, and really the delivery could be hurting their feelings, or they're just not ready to hear the truth. This is a truth-telling sort of energy, and a lot of times some people just aren't ready for the truth. And so you want to be aware of how you're coming off to other people, because this could be that kind of energy that just causes things to just not go the way you planned when it comes down to your communication with other people. And again, this is an energy where things can slip out, so you just want to be aware of that when this energy hits. From the 17th to the 19th, we have a bunch of alignments going on with the sun. So this is going to affect our confidence and our ability to be ourselves. You have the sun making a semi-square to Saturn. The sun is making a semi-sextile to Pluto and Venus. And the sun is going to be making a sesquiquadrate with Uranus on the 17th. So all of these energies combined can make for an uncomfortable day. This is going to be one of those days where, where your confidence fluctuates, because these are harder alignments. This could be a day where you're just not feeling like yourself. You're feeling a bit of anxiety. You're not feeling as confident. You're not feeling, like your old self. You're not feeling like you can express yourself, and you're not feeling like you can be yourself around other people. Also, too, with the one with Venus, this could be a day where you're feeling as though no one's giving you the attention that you deserve. No one's giving you the attention that you're hoping to get. And that could be a hard one. These are very similar to the ones that happened a week ago with Mercury making these connections with Saturn, Pluto, Venus, and Uranus. So it can make for a disruptive day, it can make for an uncomfortable day, and it can make for a day where you're feeling extra sensitive than normal, more sensitive to energies, more sensitive to other people, and very triggery within this energy. So do the best you can on the 17th, because it is a day where things fluctuate. Then on the 19th, we do get a nice surprise from the sun and Jupiter. We get a sextile going on with the sun and Jupiter. So that should mitigate some of the stuff that's going on, because we do have some heavier energies. Things can be a little bit gnarly, but with this, it at least mitigates some of the heaviness. This is where some of that good luck energy was coming from on the graph. So this is going to bring in some luck. This is going to bring in some fortunate energy. So there can be opportunities that come your way as a result of this. This could be a day where you're feeling as though luck is on your side. And even if that's not happening, it's such an optimistic vibe that you're just enjoying yourself and having fun. It's jovial. It is sociable. It is the type of energy where you could just laugh and have fun with people and just go out and do something that you normally don't do. That's just helps you let your hair down and release a lot of tension that's built up over the last bunch of days with some of those other sun aspects, and restore confidence back in yourself and believe in yourself again. So hopefully you guys are feeling this wonderful energy once it hits, because it is lovely. And on that same day, Chiron goes direct. Chiron went retrograde on the 15th of July and has been in retrograde for the last 5.5 months. So think about what's been going on with you since July 15th in regards to healing anything to do with your ego, anything to do with your selfhood, anything to do with your identity, because we have Chiron in Aries, and with Chiron in Aries, a lot of it has to do with our identity. A lot of it has to do with aligning with our drive and ambition, or becoming physically at a place where we want to be. And this could be through fitness and exercise. This could be just getting yourself back to normal, or restoring your vitality in some sort of way, or just learning how to stand on your own 2 feet and rely on yourself within this Aries energy. Learning how to assert yourself, learning how to stand up for yourself, and to embrace who you are. So if you've been working through that and facing repressed pain, or anywhere you suppressed who you are to make other people comfortable, then this energy in itself is going to come into play for you, so you can look out. It's going to be coming into play so you can review it and see how far you've came since that time period. Chiron will be in its shadow period for a long time. It will be in its shadow period until April 11th of 2022. So that will be a review period if you were being aspected by Chiron during this time, because since Chiron is an outer planet, it doesn't necessarily affect everyone on a personal level. If you happen to have Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn between 4 to 20 degrees of these signs, then you could have been feeling this energy more so than others, and feeling like this is something that you were experiencing through your chart. So Aries, Cancer, and Libra, all the cardinal signs between 4 to 20 degrees might have been feeling this the most. But here's to reconnecting with yourself and stepping into your identity. On that same day, Venus is going retrograde in Capricorn. Venus went into the shadow period on November 17th. So think back to what was going on with you regarding relationship themes, regarding Capricorn relationship themes. Have you been looking at your relationships that lack vulnerability? Have you been in situations where you're dealing with a commitment phobe? Have you been in situations where there's just no intimacy or passion within the union and you're starting to realize that this is not for you? Or a relationship that's solely based on superficial things like money and resources, but there's no substance, and again, it lacks any warmth, it lacks any sort of passion or love. And not just in relationships, this could be work situations where you're at a job where you're dealing with a toxic boss, you're dealing with toxic masculinity at the job, or you feel like you're being held back from a promotion because you've hit the glass ceiling at your job and you can't go any higher from here, so you're having to seek something else at this point. These are the things that can come up within this energy and are the core themes of what can be coming up within this energy. So these are the things to look out for, mainly within this energy itself. And it doesn't necessarily have to be relationships. It doesn't have to be job. It can be you are dealing with family members in this energy too. You could be dealing with family members who are controlling when it comes to money or push their authority on you. You could be dealing with authority figures, mostly masculine energies, because we deal with masculine energies in Capricorn. We deal with parental figures like father figures in Capricorn. So this could be something like that where you're having to resolve those issues and you're trying to gain some sort of fairness within those situations. You could also be working on your reputation at this time because we deal with reputation in Capricorn energy. So this could be a time where you're finding a way to rebuild your reputation after a hard time or slowdown of some sorts. You could be reorganizing your personal life. You could be learning how to take things seriously when it comes down to your love life, or to wait for the right people rather than rushing into situations that are not going to be viable in the long run. Or it could be situations where you're realizing that it's hard for you to open up in relationships and it's something that you want to work on during this time, because sometimes it's not always the other people. Sometimes it could be stuff within us that we're trying to work on in terms of commitment, in terms of, not being romantically open. Also within this energy too, age gap relationships do come up within this. So this could be a time where if you're in an age gap relationship, you could be seeing it for what it is, and it may be a go and it may not be a go. So things like that could be coming up as a main theme. And on a world stage, the thing with this energy is, we could possibly see some issues coming up when it comes down to the economy, or public figures being exposed for shady dealings when it comes down to our resources and our money, and something like that can pop up in this energy. And unscrupulous business practices can also pop up within this too. So this is the things to watch out for. These are the things to be aware of, and it's going to definitely be a strong retrograde, making multiple connections to certain planets where it's uncomfortable, but there are some that are easier alignments throughout this retrograde, and this retrograde will be participating within the Mercury retrograde. So once we get up to that point, that one I will explain in full detail. This is definitely going to be a retrograde to really sit back and think about what it is that you need to get serious about in your life and how you can improve your circumstances, so that way you can have a solid love life and career. I have some in-depth blog posts about Venus retrograde on its own, Venus retrograde in Capricorn, also Venus retrograde according to your zodiac sign. So I will link all of those in the description, so that way you guys can get a more in-depth view and scope about how this Venus retrograde is going to play out for your sign, how it plays out typically, and the typical themes that you can see during a Venus retrograde, and also what Venus retrograde in Capricorn, how it fully plays out and what you can expect. Venus will go direct on the 29th of January 2022 and will be out of the shadow period on March 1st of 2022. So we have a long extended retrograde of 40 days, 40 nights, and so let's work on whatever we need to work on so that way we can live our best life. Anyway, I hope you all have the best week ever. Later, guys.